What's up, Tricology family? Welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk. We hope all fathers around the world had a great Father's Day. So, we're going to get into this episode today. But before we get into it, let's welcome back our co-host, Ty. What's up?
What's up, Chica? How you doing? Happy belated Father's Day to your dad and many more out there. I had a great one. I did a lot of cooking and had a couple of people over. So let's pop off.
All right. So, we have a lot of things to discuss. We got a lot of old stuff to cover, and also some new stuff to cover. We couldn't do an episode last week because we did a watch along for In the Heights, but we will do a movie review on that today, along with other movies for today's episode. So let's not waste time. Let's get straight into it. So, do you remember when we had that bet for the Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul fight?
Yes.
Well, nobody won. So, you're lucky. You're lucky.
Man, I thought, wait a second. Hold up. Okay. All of this and nobody won. Are we going to really just get over these Floyd Mayweather fights or what?
Look, I'm going to break it down. Like, the first two rounds, Logan had it. He had those two rounds. And then after that, Floyd just took over. And then, I don't know if you noticed, but like in the fifth round, Logan was tired. He was straight tired after that. But boy, he could have knocked him out. He could have if he wanted to, but it's just like, yeah, let's get the fans what they want and just go all straight rounds. But
I think that's the only defense that Floyd Mayweather has is that punching is a very rigorous activity to do over and over again. I think by round 3, if you're not a trained ass fighter, you're tired as hell. Like Mike Tyson said, I'm hurting everywhere. That's what he looked like he was doing, hurting everywhere by round 3.
But yeah, other than that, I did go to the other event and like it was a full pack. It was kind of full packed house, but still like in the COVID-19 procedures, there was still like some empty seats, but they had a good attendance over there. So and all the undercard fights was good as well. So it was a pretty good event. So so we just had to see when his brother Jake goes against the Tyrone in the next fight. I think that's in August, I believe.
Yeah, because I look forward to that one. And then the Odom fight was ridiculous as well, though. We have one of the NSYNCs, the Carter kids, coming in to fight Lamar Odom, which is almost a foot taller than him and about 7 feet damn wider than him. Man, they're going to have to get better at this.
I'm not even going to get into that. Like, in case y'all didn't hear my reaction on the Respect the Combats, but it is what it is. But let's move on, shall we? So, to our next topic. So, as you all know, as we mentioned on here and on the Respect the Combat podcast, that all wrestling, including AEW and WWE, are moving back on the road. So, like the WWE's second biggest show for WrestleMania, which is coming up in August, which is SummerSlam. And I don't know if you noticed, but it's going to be on the same day that Manny Pacquiao going to have his fight in Vegas. So SummerSlam this year will be at the new football stadium in Vegas. So that was confirmed that will be the location, and it will be on the same day as Manny Pacquiao fight on that Saturday. But I don't know how that's gonna work. It's like if people gonna be coming to see the fight, or they're gonna be coming in for SummerSlam. But I don't know what's gonna happen. But the biggest rumor is that for SummerSlam is that there is a rumor that Cardi B might be the host for that SummerSlam.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. I can't. Oh my God. In every site, it would be the most entertaining fight, and there'll be a show herself. Oh my God. But Cardi B is a mess though. I hope they get her real good and organized because she's cute solo. You know what I'm saying? That she could go off and she could and you could take her breaks and she could, but I hope she's real professional for something like a host gig.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She's going to be in the next Fast 9 coming up soon, Fast and the Furious. So she be and she did great in her first at the debut in Hustlers. So now she's getting more into more acting gigs. So,
but you know what it's just an acting gig. I think she was pretty okay in Hustlers. I think she was reasonable. I think she did better than J-Lo, but we ain't gonna go there.
But yeah, but that's the rumor news for that SummerSlam. We just have to see what it comes forward, and also the conflict events going on with that, and the Manny Pacquiao fight. Both of them is going to be in Vegas. We just have to see how many people go to each one, but it's going to be very tough holding those two events in Vegas. But we'll have to see how they're going to go from there. But moving on to the next topic. So, Disney Plus has always premiered their original stuff on Fridays. After the success that Marvel's the Loki show did on a Wednesday, now Disney executives made the decision that all original shows, all original series will now have their debut releases on a Wednesday. But except for original movies, that's gonna stay on a Friday. Now, my thing is that I got used to what, as far as the Disney Plus show is concerned, I'm more concerned watching these shows on a Friday. So that gave me time to try to watch it through the weekend. And now you have it coming out on a Wednesday. So it's like, okay, so maybe I could watch these shows like during work when I have a lunchtime. Like that's not gonna be a problem. But wish it would stay on a Friday, but that's their decision. Loki they did great numbers on a Wednesday, but it is what it is. So what you think? It is what it is.
I can say I think much of it. I think that it'd be cool to have it a little earlier.
All right. So, and moving on. So, as you all know, I don't know if have you ever been to let me ask you, how long have you ever been to Busch Gardens for so long?
I haven't been to Busch Gardens in such a long time. I went when I was 20. Yeah, because I don't like going, those.
Okay, so around in the fall time, Universal has Halloween Horror Nights, but Busch Gardens, to their counterpart, they have Hollow Screams, which is pretty good, but it doesn't have like the IQ that Halloween Horror Nights does. Like you have like attractions that's come from movie or shows. Hollow Screams is just like Halloween Horror Nights, but it doesn't have that IQ that Halloween Horror Nights does. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but moving on. So not only for this year, not only that Hollow Screams will be in Busch Gardens, Tampa, but also at SeaWorld Orlando this year. So they're expanding the Hollow Screams event for the fall and Halloween season. They're expanding.
Mm-hmm. I think that it's gonna be so dope to have those events back at Busch Gardens. It's never gonna compare to Disney's and Orlando's, but I think it'll be really exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait to see if people they gonna admit that. So most people got used to go to Busch Gardens to Tampa. Now they have that option to go to SeaWorld over there. So they have a pretty good option to flow with. So it's going to be very interesting how Hollow Scream is going to be set up at SeaWorld, because SeaWorld is mostly for the ocean and that type of stuff. So I'm kind of interested in and see how that's gonna flow. But speaking of theme parks, the new Jurassic World roller coaster debuted on the 10th of June, and oh my God, on the first day, the line was packed. It started all the way to City Walk. That's where the line started on the first day. I'm like, Jesus.
What? Wow, but that's a lot. That's a lot on the first day. See, over here, it'd be like the last day. The last day would be so packed. I went to the Renaissance Festival. Oh my God, it was everything. People really get into the Renaissance Festival over there. But yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness. But the ride itself, oh my God, everyone loved it. Like, do you remember Dueling Dragons?
Dueling Dragons, the movie?
No, the ride. Where you have like the two roller coasters, one was red and one was blue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but like in a Jurassic Park form. Like you have two roller coasters, and then like you have two raptors like encounter. So that's it's kind of like that. If you look up like Dueling Dragons and you see how that ride is, it's almost now the Jurassic World roller coaster is kind of similar to that. If you check out those both rides, you can see some difference and some similarity between the two. But speaking of Jurassic World, not only they did a great with debuting their new ride at Universal, but we also got the news that we will see a first sneak peek trailer to the new Jurassic World movie, Domination, will be shown during the previews Fast and Furious 9 in IMAX. I repeat, the only way you get to see the sneak peek trailer of the new Jurassic World movie Domination is that you have to go to an IMAX screening of Fast and Furious 9, which come out this Friday. So if you want to see the but they might release it online. That always happens. So they might release it online like afterwards. They might release it online. So that's pretty nuts.
Okay.
Yeah, to for everyone. So that's not a big deal. But yeah. So moving on. So as you all know, if y'all didn't get the news from this weekend, Tyler Perry Studios will now have an expansion. So here's the news that's come out of it. So Tyler Perry and TD gone ahead from local authorities on this past Thursday, to purchase over 130 acres in Atlanta, including proposed expansion for Tyler Perry Studios for an entertainment district with theaters, retail shops, and restaurant. Perry will acquire 37 acres adjusted to Tyler Perry Studios, adding in more than the 330 acres he purchased back in 2015, and grew to one of the biggest production faculties in the country. So this is what they said about it. Today is a good day. I'm grateful for the opportunity this gives Tyler Perry Studios to expand our footprint in Atlanta and create more opportunities for the people of Southwest Atlanta with restaurants, entertainment venues, and other business opportunities. Perry said in a statement, "I'm looking forward to collaborating with my friend TD on his separate but adjusting projects, and I also want to thank Governor Kempe and Mayor Bottoms for their continuous effort to make Atlanta a better place." So what do you think of the news expansion coming?
I think that is fantastic for the new expansion coming. I'm very excited to hear more about the expansion happening.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the new expansion is going to look like, and maybe they're going to give us another tour to see how that's going to look online. But yeah, and moving on to our next topic. So this past weekend we had the E3 21. Yeah, so they gave us like previews for upcoming games that's going to happen. We saw a new preview from, for examples like Fair Cry 9. We even got a new Avatar game coming soon. Guardians of the Galaxy, games from for Comcam, Square Enix, Ubisoft, and other stuff. So the ones that like I mentioned that brought my attention was the new Avatar game. So I'm very as you already know, from the movie, I'm very sold on the movie, and I'm very sold on when they made when Disney made the new area in Disney World for the Avatar. I got so sold about it. Now I'm interested to see how they're gonna do the video game and other stuff.
So interesting. Yeah, I agree absolutely. How they're gonna change up. You know, that I was reading Time magazine and they said that innovation is at its best.
Yeah, so that's going to be very interesting. But moving on to our next topic. So we finally got our DC film slate of what's going to be coming out next year. Starting off with The Batman on March 4th. DC's new animated film, Leagues of Super Pets, which is going to be on May 20th. Black Adam with The Rock on July 29th. The Flash on November 4th. And Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom on December 16th. So that's going to be the movie that's going to be released in theaters. And then you have Blue Beetle and Batgirl will be an HBO Max exclusive. Which one of these DC projects are you looking forward to?
It sounds like The Rock for me. The Rock's for I can see you're not looking. You said Black Rob.
Yeah, Black Adam.
Chico, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Black Adam. Yeah. Yeah, Black Adam is what I'm looking forward to, seeing The Rock on big screen again.
Yeah, that's gonna be a very.
What about you?
Oh, I'm excited for all of them. I can't wait to see all those. But I'm just waiting. But I'm still very curious about the Batman. But we'll just wait to see how that's gonna play out. But so well, without further than that, let's get into some more. Yeah. But other than that, let's get into some movie reviews, shall we? So, starting off with The Conjuring, the Devil Made Me Do It. So, this is the third film as far as the Conjuring series alone itself, not counting the spin-off films that they did. So, this one was directed by Michael Kravis. He did the Curse of Lawega. Sorry, I been pronounced that name, but I always mess that name up. But yeah, he did that movie, and he did this one. James Wan did produce this one. But so the story behind this film is that a guy named Ernie Johnson, due to possession, plead not guilty for a murder. So it demonic possession that's going on. So now it's up to Ed and Lorraine Watson to try to figure out this demon process that's going on around other films. So when it comes to like the Conjuring series, like I feel like this is that's one of the best scary flicks that they haven't in a long time. But if I had to rank this one, it was okay for what it is. Like it wasn't that many jump scares as I must predicted it will be. But all I gotta say, it was all right for me. But yeah, this movie was not only in theaters, but it was on HBO Max as well. But
nice.
Yeah,
that's cool. The Conjuring for me was it could have been better. I fell asleep on it.
But I would give it a C. I'll give it a C.
C sounds good.
But yeah,
I give it like a C, almost a D.
Yeah. But moving on to our next movie, it's gonna be on Cruella. So this is Disney's new remake live action film from the 101 Dalmatians, and this story follows Cruella before she came Cruella de Vil. And when I had my doubts about this movie, but when I first saw it, like, it was really good. Like the story was good, the soundtrack was good, and you already know Emma Stone pulled it out as Cruella and Estella as she was before she was Cruella. So and then also Emma Thompson was in this movie. So I'm not going to go too much into the story. I want to spoil it too much, but Emma Stone's character, I feel like she was the original Cruella de Vil before Cruella. If you guys had the chance to see the movie, and you get to see like maybe like the backstory and everything, you're gonna be like full surprise on it. Full surprise.
Okay.
But as far as for that movie, I give it a B plus. A B plus.
B plus or.
And then
Cruella, I didn't watch it, so I couldn't rate it, sweetheart. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, but when you get a chance to, let me know. But moving on to our next movie, and that's gonna be on Quiet Place 2. Is once again directed by John Krasinski. He didn't have a bigger role like he did in the first one. So spoiler alert, he died in the first one. Spoiler alert. So that's been out for a couple years now. So that's what it. But he did have a small role in this movie. But it's gonna be like in the opening, like in the first opening scenes for in the flashbacks as well. But I feel like this Quiet Place was really good, but if you had to ask me which one was better, the first one or the second one, I would have to say the first one because of for what it is. Quiet Place 2 was really good. Like, don't get me wrong, this was everybody was sold on this movie. Like this movie was great. Okay, but I feel like this one is more on focus on try to find and see if there's other people in the world that's kind of hiding like from the monsters that's going on, and then try to be as quiet as possible for anything to happen. But other than that, I can't really say any bad things about it. But this movie was good, and I give it an A.
Oh, it was an A? I definitely have to see it.
Yeah.
That is what's up.
Yep. So
that's gorgeous.
Yeah. So that definitely gets an A. But yep. And then moving on to our next movie, and that's gonna be on Fatherhood, which is Netflix's one Netflix's new movie, and stars Kevin Hart. And then for me, this is the first serious role that Kevin Hart did. Like, even though he still has some comedy parts, like comedian parts in the movie, but like this give me a new aspect on Kevin Hart. Like, this is, like I mentioned before, this is like his first serious role. He plays a single father, struggle to raise his daughter at the unexpected death of his wife and everything. But so this was a pretty good horror film movie. So if you ain't get a chance to see this one, you got to go see this one. So I give this one an A.
Oh, I hear you. That's cool.
Yep. And then moving on, and so this is gonna be on Disney Pixar's newest film, Luca. So that's on Disney Plus. And it was originally supposed to be in theaters, but it became a Disney Plus exclusive, like they did for Soul. So in this movie, two boys who are originally like sea monsters, and they come out like out of the ocean. But when they come out of the ocean, they don't come out as like sea creatures. They turn into like regular humans. So like it's summer. It's just during the summer, so they get a chance to explore the world of the Italian Riviera, and they meet the other little girl, and they get a chance to explore like what it's like on the outside world from the ocean. And then like I mentioned, they meet the little girl, they get to be friends, and then they enter like this tournament race to to be accepted from being like sea creatures, and to try to be accepted from the outer world. So this movie definitely gives a good message towards the audience. So this is a really good newest Disney Pixar flick. And the only thing the only negative thing I would say is that they didn't give enough backstory in terms of Luca and other like sea monsters. Is that why they never like gone like outside of the world like for the ocean? That they didn't give enough backstory enough to it. But other than that, everything else was flow great, and I give it an A.
That's what's up. I agree. I think that it was definitely a great movie to watch, to look forward to, and I think that it'll be a classic. So I
Oh,
say an A.
oh yeah. But and now to the last part, the big one, In the Heights. So
In the Heights is the movie of the summer, and I'm gonna always watch it over and over and over and over. It was a great movie. It was a great Dominican movie. It represented everything Dominican, from the food to the parents. Just a beautiful movie about the roots of people who migrated from the Dominican Republic to the Bronx, New York. Or it's Manhattan, actually, because it's about Washington Heights. Washington Heights is our go-to. It's like I guess I don't know if Americans have it like that, but it's a way of like um it's our destination, our next destination every single time. This one, so
yeah, and then this one was directed by the guy that directed Crazy Rich Asian, and of course it's produced from the guys that did Hamilton. And if I had to say my favorite parts of the movie, I would have to say the opening scene, the pool scene,
oh, of course.
The one they had the Black Album with the fireworks. And I guess I can include the club scene as well, and also the alleyway as far as like the musical parts, the musical parts.
Awesome. I agree that there's a lot of great parts in this movie. Fantastic. I loved every part. It's an A plus 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 plus. It's the alpha and the omega.
Yes, definitely. I give this one an A plus as well. But yeah, other than that, folks, that's our topics for today. If you're watching this on YouTube, let us know in the comment section below what are your thoughts and opinions on the topics that we discussed today. And then also, if you're listening on Anchor, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, go to our YouTube link in the description below and post your comments on the YouTube session as well. But other than that, any last words, Ty? Any last words? I think we're good. And so she is Ty, and I'm Trico, and we're signing off. Peace.